this week we were talking about musicals, and it would be really beneficial for me to be actually in Disney World this week instead of next week, because, man, Disney World would be a great place to talk about musicals. I like musicals, I used to be in them, even though I can't sing. Actually, I used to be able to sing, I've just not had training recently, and my voice has just kind of changed since I had a really bad illness, and my voice like basically dropped an entire octave. Really screwed up my senior year, let me tell you. I'm a big musical fan. I have been a big fan of Broadway since I was a very young kid. My parents, when I was very young, went to go see Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, and I absolutely loved that play. I didn't actually get to see it till I was in high school. Well, that's not true. I got to see like a movie version. I actually own it still. It's somewhere over there. I actually got to see a stage version / movie version, but I didn't actually get to see it live until I was in high school. But my parents went to go see it back in 1992, and it was really funny because it was right before the Mall of America opened, and they saw it down here in the Twin Cities area. So it's really kind of funny. I don't remember. I think they saw it at the Ordway in Minneapolis, but there was a sign when Joseph is being taken away by the Egyptians to go to Egypt, and there was a sign that says Mall of America that way, and it was really fun. It was really cute. I never actually saw it, but my parents talk about it a lot, and it's great. It's cute. I like it. They brought home a CD of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, and I listened to it and I fell in love with it, to the point that one of my friends' favorite party bits is for them to go look at me and go, "It was," because then I can simply go, "It was red and yellow and green and brown and scarlet and black and ochre and peach and ruby and olive, violet and gold, chocolate, mauve, cream and crimson, silver and rose, azure and lemon, rust and gray, purple, white, pink and orange and blue." I can say all the colors of the coat from Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat because I've been so obsessed with that musical ever since. Andrew Lloyd Webber was actually my favorite musical playwright for a long time, until of course Stephen Sondheim happened in my life when I was in high school, and now that has since changed. Though I refused to see Sweeney Todd because it was directed by Tim Burton, and I have this thing against Tim Burton. I used to not. His stuff in the 90s were fantastic, and the 80s and 90s were fantastic. Something happened in the 2000s that occurred, and I can't get on board with Tim Burton anymore. That's a whole different topic for a whole different video. Hi, I'm Britt, and I have unpopular opinions. So then I started listening to other Andrew Lloyd Webber things like Evita and Jesus Christ Superstar and Phantom of the Opera. I got to see Phantom of the Opera live. There is one on Netflix of the stage version, and they made a movie version of that play, and that was great. Nothing wrong with that movie. It changed a couple things, but I understand why they did, and they made sense, so I'm not gonna yell at them for those things that they changed to make it more cinematic. And then finally I did see Cats. Cats is the last one that I got into. Here's the thing with musical lovers, and I'm sure you will come across this at some point. I think Melissa actually posted something about this with Cats, and I argued it. So Melissa, you might be on the other side of the thing with Cats with me, so bring that up in your video if you are, or if you just thought it was funny or something. It seems to me that if you are a musical fan, you either love Cats or you hate Cats. I'm one of the people that loves Cats. I truly believe that there is a storyline with Cats, even though it is a book of poems, and it was simply just Andrew Lloyd Webber putting music to those poems. But honestly, there is a storyline, and it's fantastic. It's about redemption, and it's beautiful, and I love it, and it still brings a tear to my eye anytime I watch Cats. Now, there are a few songs in there that I'm not a big fan of. I have the stage version / movie version, kind of like the whole Joseph the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat thing. But no, I love Cats. It's a great musical. It's got amazing music, amazing choreography, and I absolutely adore it. Andrew Lloyd Webber was my favorite musical playwright for a very long time. And then I moved on to Stephen Sondheim when I was about junior, senior in high school, when Into the Woods happened in my life. Into the Woods was my favorite musical from that time until this last summer, and even now it's still in a ridiculously close second, to the point that I saw the movie version 4 times in the theaters. I went 3 times with my friend Kelly, and random amounts of friends. I actually, for the very first time in my life, went on Christmas Day to a movie to see this movie, and it was absolutely fantastic, and I loved it. And then I saw it once with my mom. And I've also seen it live, and I saw the Broadway version with Bernadette Peters, or maybe it was still technically off-Broadway at that point, but it's on a DVD that I have with Bernadette Peters. And actually the woman who plays the baker's wife was in Friends, so that was really funny for me to see that. But yeah, I absolutely love Into the Woods. It's one of my favorite musicals ever. It's all these fairy tales. I should have talked about this last week, but I didn't. I don't know why. I was saving for this week. It's all these fairy tale characters, and they kind of go into the woods together to solve it as whatever, you know, Cinderella goes into the woods to go to the ball, and, you know, Jack goes into the woods to sell the cow, and then, of course, the created storyline was the baker and his wife who couldn't have children. He goes off into the woods to gather all of the things to stop this curse from happening in his family any longer so he can have a child. It's absolutely fantastic. Bernadette Peters plays the original witch. Vanessa, what's her name? Miss America? Something. Don't remember the name. Huh. She plays the witch in the revival cast, which she did a fine job, and she really turned Last Midnight into one of the creepiest freaking songs I have ever seen in my life, because I've actually seen her perform it, not like in person or anything, but like YouTube videos and whatnot. Not a big fan with some of the things that they changed about the series, but they did change a couple of, not the series, the play. They did change a couple of things that just weren't necessary, were not necessary at all, but it's fantastic. So they all go into the woods to solve these things, to solve these issues, or to get the prince, get the money, break the curse, all of these things. And it's absolutely fantastic. It's a beautiful play. If you haven't seen it, you should see the play version first. They're both fantastic, but things changed via, you know, cinematic reasons, and they actually redeemed some characters, which is good, because some of the characters are really needed redeeming. This character wasn't redeemed, but one of the characters was, I was raised to be charming, not sincere. It's a really dark comedy. Do check that out. It's so fantastic, and I love it. But yeah, moving on from stage, because I've talked enough about... Oh, no, I can't move on from stage yet. I have not hit that segue. The last thing I'm going to talk about is actually my segue from stage to movie, and that is The Lion King. So, as I stated, until last summer, Into the Woods was my favorite musical, and then last summer I got to see The Lion King live on stage. Oh my goodness. I thought I loved The Lion King until I saw the stage version, and now I love it even more, if that's even possible. The magic that they managed to create with the puppets and the mechanic work and the masks and the music and taking some of the scores and turning it into music, and it was just so fantastic. I mean, I have known about the Lion King Broadway musical for many, many years, and I wanted to see it since I was a child, since it first came out, I believe, in 1995. My parents were actually going to take me to see it when I was a kid. I think we were like 10 or something when it was in Minneapolis, and they were going to take me down here to see it, and it just didn't happen, and I was just very distraught, very upset about it, and it got to a point where when YouTube became a thing, and I knew I could look up some of that music, and I could buy the CD and things like that, I decided that I was going to experience the music for the first time there. And now the only real exceptions to that were I did like watch those videos that went viral about the cast, you know, being on a train or being on a plane and singing Circle of Life. But I figured that was a passable thing because I've already heard Circle of Life, but I just not heard that version. And then I did accidentally stumble on The Madness of Scar one time, and I realized it was Broadway, and I clicked off immediately because I was like, nope, I want to experience this music live and in person, and while I'm watching the musical. I don't want to spoil myself, essentially, is what I thought. And boy, was that the best decision ever. I spent most of the time crying because I finally got to see it, and I absolutely adore it. It's my favorite musical. It's my favorite Disney movie. It's actually probably my favorite movie ever. So segue into Disney. So yes, Lion King is my favorite Disney movie, and that is a musical. I love all the music attached to The Lion King. It's absolutely fantastic. Even The Lion King 2 has amazing music that I absolutely adore. Would never want to ever not have in my life The Lion King. Some other Disney movies that I absolutely adore: Aladdin, Mulan, Frozen, as I talked about before. Matter of fact, Let It Go has become kind of my mantra. As somebody with depression and anxiety, it's become my I need to just belt out something, and that has become a thing. Also, speaking of the Lion King musical, Endless Night is also kind of my favorite song to listen to when I'm trying to beef myself up out of my depression, and I love it. So it's fantastic. You know, Beauty and the Beast, you know, I mean, like today or yesterday, I'm filming this on Tuesday because I don't have time to do this tomorrow. Getting your life together when you are a realtor before you're going on vacation, when you come back and immediately close on a house, it's kind of interesting existence this week. I'm busy as heck. Yesterday they released the final trailer for Beauty and the Beast, the live action Beauty and the Beast, and it's fantastic. It looks like they're going to use all the same music, which I am super excited about. It looked like they were going to do Be Our Guest, and we already heard Beauty and the Beast, and we heard that song at the beginning that I can never remember the name of, except for I just call it the Bonjour song. I have ever since I was a kid just called it the Bonjour song. TV-wise, I absolutely adore when television shows have a musical episode. Matter of fact, one of my favorite episodes of Community, my favorite television show, is when they have a musical episode. It's a regional holiday something, and it's a Christmas episode, and it's basically Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but instead of it being aliens, it's music. It's just so good. Community is just so good. But there are some television shows out there that just do a random musical episode, like Psych or Community, and it turns out to be the best episode ever. I need to rewatch the Psych musical episode because that one was absolutely fantastic. Community actually does musical stuff throughout its entire existence, to the point that it actually had a CD come out of a soundtrack. And one of my favorite scenes in the entire show is from season 1, when they sing Somewhere Out There from The American Tale, when Abed and Troy are trying to track down this rat that they named Fievel. And I love it. It's just so cinematically beautiful, and it's my favorite scene. And after I'm done filming this video, before I edit, I am certainly going to watch that episode, or not that episode, but I'm going to watch that scene because I love it. And I actually have the soundtrack on my iPhone, and I listen to it on a pretty regular basis, so there's that. For somebody who's not super musically inclined, I love music, and I love musicals. So let me know your favorite musicals down below, and if you like cats down below, and I will see you guys all next week when I'm back from Disney World. No, I'll actually be at Disney World when this one goes up. I'm filming both this week and next week's videos right now, and edit them, put them both up, and blah 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 blah. I will see you guys next week while I'm in Disney World with a pre-recorded video that I didn't do next week. I did it this week. Cheater! I'll see you guys when I get back from Disney World. I love you all. To the other people on this channel, to our viewers, love you all, and I will see you guys all next week. And Dylan, we will see you tomorrow.